All right, this is Josh and James here with the MMA Complex podcast. Here with Brian Ortega, the Brian Ortega, man. How are you feeling today, man? What brings you here to Combate?
Just last minute little invite, and through one of the guys who helps represent me, and I live in LA, so why not come check it out?
Yeah, it's pretty cool that Combate America kind of caters to the Hispanic community. How's that make you feel, man, knowing that, there's Muslim Mexican fighters being promoted here in LA?
It feels great, especially because when you think of Latino fighters, you think of boxing. You don't really think MMA, you don't think cage fighting at all, and then to have something named Combate America, it's pretty tight because I'm first generation Mexicano. I'm born here in Los Angeles, so I like the name. Like Combate America, it's pretty sick. And to see the evolution, to see people in the Latin community start to train, start to fight, and from what I saw, like these last couple of fights, they got some skill. At least when I used to watch the fights, people weren't that skillful.
Yeah.
So just the evolution MMA in general is amazing, and to see Latinos more involved with it is something always that hits home for me, and it's good to see because I was once there.
Now, all the antics of UFC 223 they're all behind us now. Looking back on it, that crazy week, you're somewhat involved in it in terms of being approached to maybe step in to replace Ferguson or Max Holloway. So looking back now, what do you make of that week, and how did you process it after?
New York was crazy. Yeah, Dana White called me up, talked about fighting Khabib. We said yes. But he did tell me that Max has first priority because he's the champ. And Max at that time hasn't gotten back to him. So we just waited, And then he called me back later saying Max took the fight. I was a little bit bummed out. And then this whole situation with Conor happened, and then Max kind of being declared unfit to fight, and then us trying to step back, and then I quit again the fight. Crazy week, yeah, a lot of craziness going on, but I did get to go over there, and I did get to go and do some meet and greets, and I went to this place to go do like a charity work for them and just talk to people who are suffering financially and going through a hard time. So we donated some money to them, and then we just got to hang out to them and talk to them and inspire them. So as bad as a week as it was, through the antics of Conor and all that, it was a good week for us as well, though.
Yeah, what Conor did was a pretty black guy in the sport. Your thoughts on Conor McGregor and is that a fight that obviously you want to take in the near future?
Yeah, that's something that our team has talked about, and it's doable within time. We just have to pick our right career moves, and then right now we got to worry about Max. We got to get through Max, get that 145 belt, and then we're not targeting Conor, but we're targeting Khabib. As in terms of if we're successful against Max, then we're going up a weight class and fighting Khabib for the belt.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Now, Max seemed like he was ready to go for the Khabib fight. We don't know how healthy he was. I don't know if you have any word on the timetable when you think he'll be 100% and ready to take you on.
No, we have the timetable, we have the date, we have the location, and I just cannot talk about it. About too much details, but it's already set in stone already. Contracts are being done. Yeah.
Max is next for you then.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You know what? Like I've always said that if there's one person in the UFC that can beat Khabib, it's you, Brian Ortega. Like you're his Achilles heel, man. Like Khabib's known for his grappling, but your jiu-jitsu is top of the line. Like how do you see that fight taking place? Ending in your eyes.
This is a matchup that I love. Forget the belt, forget that. I wanted the Khabib fight just because it's a Khabib fight.
Yeah.
We're two undefeated guys, one wrestler, one jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And you saw the fight with Alquita. His striking's not the best.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. It's like, can you hold me down, or will I bust another Tavares fight?
Yeah.
So the fight like that intrigues me, and as a fighter, I want the challenge, and as a fan, I want to see it.
Yeah.
And then why not be involved in it? So, yeah, that fight gets me excited, and it makes me motivated just to beat Max just so I can go up a weight class, you know? Because
Goosebumps, man. I got goosebumps right now.
yeah, it'd be a sick fight. I'm ready for it, and I long for it, you know? Yeah.
Now staying in your weight class, you have Max Holloway, obviously a different type of fighter. What do you make of that fight, and how you will approach a fight with Max?
I always approach every fight the same. I go in there, I go to finish. I don't go to score points. Max is a volume puncher, and I just need to finish him. Yeah, it just doesn't matter if it's knockout or if it's submission. My objective is when I'm in there is to finish and don't leave anything unanswered for the judges. Yeah.
You know, there's not too many Mexican American role models, man, and you're one of them. Your heart is gold, but when you get in the cage, like you're a beast. Talk about your foundation in the scholarship that you're doing right now.
So we're doing the foundations right now. We're helping people out everywhere, and I mean that's it, man. The main thing is we be the change that you want to see in the world. There's I've talked about it in other interviews that there's just too much negativity. We gotta change it up, you know. I'm not telling the world to be a clean-cut person. I'm just telling the world just to help out when you can. You know, a little hamburger here to a homeless, or just something, motivation. You'd be surprised the little things that can do to help, and they're like pennies, man. They all add up, you know. And then eventually, I feel like if everyone helps each other out, we'd be in less of a kind of situation. And not only that, like, I was thinking about this the other day. Recently it was, when you help someone, it makes you happy. So there'd be less stress. You know, people, like, you'd be surprised. You don't want to give something, but when you give something, you truly give it from the heart, and you see someone appreciate it, it makes you feel good about it, and it makes you want to do more, you know? So it's almost like, it's infectious, you know?
Awesome, man.
On that note, man, we want to thank you for your time and joining us here at Combate, and wish you all the best of luck. And thank you for even sharing the news that your fight is pretty much set.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, and kind of remind the fans where they can find you on social media and more about your info about your scholarship.
Yeah, you can just find me at Brian T. City on social media. BrianOrtegaFoundation.com for everything else, you know? Yeah.
Brian, you know, thanks for being like a good role model for the Mexican people, man, or for the Hispanic people in general. And best of luck in your fight coming up with Max.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.